Hi, I'm Bons Magsambol, and this is Rappler Talk. On August 24, classes in the country are set to reopen using the distance learning approach amid the rising cases of COVID-19. Despite calls to delay classes, Education Secretary Leonor Briones said that classes would open whatever form it is. How are the private schools preparing for the school opening? Joining us today is Attorney Joseph Noel Estrada, Managing Director of the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Association of the Philippines. Hi, Attorney Estrada. Welcome to Rappler.
Hi, good day sa iyo, Bons, at sa mga taga-subaybay ninyo sa Rappler.
Attorney, start na po tayo. Siguro before we go into the discussion, can you explain lang to our viewers what is COCOPEA, what does it do?
COCOPEA stands for the Coordinating Council for Private Educational Associations. Ang members ng COCOPEA actually are associations also, national associations. So it represents all private educational institutions, both sectarian and non-sectarian. Pero hindi kasama sa amin ng mga public or government schools. Pero sa lahat nasa grupo namin, whether they are Christian schools, Catholic schools, non-sectarian, and also across all levels from kinder all the way up to graduate education, including tech voc education. So we are said to be the unifying voice of private education in the country.
Para lang malinaw, yung COCOPEA po, sakop niya din yung like for example, Ateneo, LaSalle, and other big universities and higher education institutions na private, right?
Yes, kasama sila sa amin, big or small colleges, universities, schools, non-stock, non-profit, lahat po kasama sa amin yan, pati mga colleges and universities.
Sir, for my first question po, only one po, as of today, as of July 23, earlier this morning, only 1.2 million have so far signed up for the class opening for private school po. This is just 25% of last year's 4.4 million enrollees. So, what is the reason po kung bakit ganito kababa yung turnout ng enrollment for private schools this year?
Actually, talagang alarmingly low ang turnout ng ating enrollment considering na late na nga tayo nagsimula po sa more or less sabay-sabay naman yung magkakaiba lang ng dates pero within the same period ang enrollment ng mga estudyante sa amin, pero it's really very low. And I think it's no secret ang talaga naman number one na dahilan is financial. Financial constraints, difficulties dahil affected yung mga families natin because of the pandemic. Maraming nawalan ng trabaho, maraming nawalan ng negosyo, at I think marami rin syempreng may mga gumastos din about their health. So talagang affected sila, and syempre magbabayad sa private school, tuition talagang pinaghahandaan ng magulang yan malaki yan sa household budget. So I think that's still the number one reason why a lot of students have not been able to enroll so far.
Di ba po around 1.2 million yung so far na nag-enroll? So nasan kaya sir yung natitirang around 2.8 or 3 million na mga estudyante ngayon? Are they homeschooled or?
Well, yung ang balita sa akin, latest, actually very positive naman pati mga ibang private schools, na nakakaking sa akin, sinasabi nila, hindi pa lang daw ito na-account sa data, especially kasi ang nag-survey yata is DepEd, hindi naman din lahat nag-accomplish nung survey. Pero mixed mixed reports din yung natatanggap ko. Meron naman extremes na marami talaga nagsasabi na nagsara daw yung school, So, dahil hindi nga mataas ang enrollment, hindi na tumataas yung enrollment. And yun na nga, maraming affected na families. So, only 25%. Ang tanong mo, nasan na yung mga hindi pa So, karamihan hindi pa nag-enroll, pero it's also alarming to know na nasa around 300,000 ay lilipat or lumipat na sa public schools. So, mga hindi pa it's either hindi pa nag-enroll or lumipat na sa public schools.
And then, kanina nabanggit nyo yung mga schools na nagko-close. So, meron po ba kayong latest figure kung ilan ng schools yung mga nagko-close during the pandemic?
Yeah, wala ako nung exact data, dahil ang dapat talagang magkakaroon ng data na yan, yung Department of Labor and Employment, number one, kasi pag nagsara ang isang eskwelahan, syempre kailangan nilang i-notify ang DOLE dun sa mga mare-retrench, dapat at least 1 month notice yan. And also the DepEd, kailangan nilang maka-receive ng reports and including CHED kung higher education dahil dapat malaman nila kung saan lilipat. Dapat maabisuhan yung mga bata at mga estudyante kung saan sila lilipat. Pero sa amin sa COCOPEA kasi we had this survey, kung matatandaan mo around April ito, tinanong namin indirectly. No? Hindi naman namin tinanong kung magsasara na kayo, but we asked them, yung mga schools namin, around 500 of our 2,000 members, tinanong namin sila hanggang kailan kakayanin ng inyong resources with the current situation. Hindi pa nag-open ng klase, tapos na-disrupt yung last school year. Nagsabi, 80% dun sa natanong, na more than 500, ang nagsabi na only up to the end of August na lang ang kanilang resources to at least sustain, number one, yung salaries or payroll ng faculty and other school personnel. And after that, they will consider closing the school at least for this school year.
So around 500, to po yung rough estimate nyo as of now?
Yun yung natanong lang noon kasi syempre di naman namin lahat ma-survey yung more than 2,000. Ang respondents noon nasa 500 and 80% dun sa nag-respond ang nagsabi na after August they would consider closing.
Okay. So dun natin nakuha yung figure natin before na around 300, right?
Yeah, oo.
Okay, in terms of preparation, sir, for the school opening, how are the private schools po? Paano po sila nagpe-prepare ngayon na pagbubukas ng klase?
Actually, in terms of the delivery mode, kung online or under open and distance learning, I would say majority ng private schools ready na, or would be ready when the school opens. Kasi hindi naman ito something new, especially for the private schools. Ginagawa na namin dati ito, kaya lang not in such a wide scale, hindi pang maramihan. So actually yung transition, syempre, maikli lang yung panahon for preparation, may mga konting disruptions, you have to address all of this. Pero ang number one talaga na, I would say, na challenge na sa private schools ngayon is really the sustainability. Not really adapting to the new normal, pero how will they be able to sustain? Kasi nga, as you may know, ang ating private schools, yung operational budget nila naman talaga ay generally nanggagaling sa tuition payments ng mga magulang at mga estudyante. So kung affected sila at bagsak yung enrollment, mahirapan sila kung saan kukuha ng resources. And alam mo, sa totoo lang, to be honest, yung cost of transitioning to the new normal, malaki talaga yan, mataas. It may not be a popular opinion or idea, pero sa totoo lang talagang mas magastos, moving towards, lalo na with the short period of time, mag-a-adjust kayo, you will move to the new platform. And also, given the existing requirements sa physical setup ng dahil andyan pa rin naman yan, i-maintain mo pa rin with the new requirements, talagang magastos. And so, yan ang number one talaga concern ng mga private schools on how to sustain their operations and how do they maintain their viability.
In terms of yung modality na gagamitin ng private schools, mostly po ba online, modular, or mixed? Ano po yung gagamitin na modality ng mga private schools?
Well, I would say, syempre, ang preferred pa rin na mode yung online, kasi mas madali kang yung synchronous, mas madali yon kung kaya. But we also acknowledge and recognize na may mga lugar na hindi mo mapapatupad yan. At meron din naman na may mga schools, mga mission schools, community schools na napagkasundoan nila sa kanilang school community, sa mga magulang na hindi sila mag-online. So yung iba modular. So pero ang talagang preferred kung kakayanin lang ng resources at kung yung lugar nila merong maabot ng kung may cell site ba doon or hindi, kasi may mga lugar pa rin na walang cell sites. We've been receiving a lot of reports na talagang hindi para talaga lahat ng lugar maabot ng internet kahit gustuhin natin.
Attorney, kailan yung start ng classes ng most private schools? Kasi I believe na parang yung private schools, you can set a different date for your class opening, unlike sa public that would start on August 24. So, ano po yung start ng classes for most private schools?
Well, technically, the private schools can open anytime between June to last day of August. Pero syempre, kailangan din tayong sumunod sa mga iba pang regulasyon ng Department of Education. Like for example, recently naglabas sila nung June 24 lang, naglabas sila ng isang department order na may mga requirements pa rin, no, na sa mga different modalities bago makapagsimula ng klase. So karamihan hinintay muna 'yon na ma-comply at ngayon patuloy pa rin nag-a-apply sa mga regions ng Department of Education. Pero merong mga ilan-ilan na nag-start na last week.
Okay.
No? At saka itong last Monday, no? May mga nagbukas na rin. Pero karamihan July, yung iba naman sumunod na rin sa DepEd na August 24.
May feedback na ba kung paano yung naging flow nung opening nila last week dun sa mga nag-start? May nakapagbigay na ba sa inyo attorney ng feedback kung anong nangyari?
Well, kasalukuyan pa lang din akong humihingi ng mga situationers doon sa atin, lalong-lalo na sa mga client schools ko. Pero I'm very happy kasi kung walang karamihan naman yan magsasabi kung may problema eh. So I think wala pa namang nagiging problema. I think they still observe kung ano bang mangyayari. Usually ito nasa trial stage. Ang kadalasan na sinasabi sa akin ngayon yung mga policies nila, no, yung mga kailangan na nagpapatulong sila sa mga polisiya, lalo na kasi nasa online and distance learning na, no. Sabi nila katulad ng student discipline, paano daw gagawin, paano paghingi ng consent ng parent, mga ganyan. Pero so far positive pa naman kasi konti pa lang din naman yung nakapag-open. Oo.
So in the coming days malalaman natin kung paano nag-start yung classes nila. So, balikan natin yung nangyari nung June 24. Like, yung nasabi nyo kanina na on June 24, naglabas si Department of Education ng memo or order sa private schools na quote-unquote non-negotiable requirements. Sinasabi nito na ito daw, mga private schools, kailangan nila yung ma-meet yung checklist na to na, for example, kailangan yung may personnel na nakabantay na magsaserve as help desk 24/7. And then, kailangan daw may sarili kayong educational platform, either subscribed or locally developed. At may email facility or domain para ma-allow ang mga private schools na mag-open using the distance learning approach. And then, kinontesto or nag-appeal yung mga private schools regarding this non-negotiable requirements. Ano na, sir, attorney, yung update dito?
Okay. So, naglabas na ng bagong order, no? I think kahapon, no, yung naging DepEd Order number 17, series of 2020. So, parang ang pinaka change lang naman doon is naglagay sila ng minove yung deadline, no? Instead of before the opening of classes, kailangan ma-comply mo na lahat, in-extend lang nila to December 29, no?
Okay.
So ngayon sa kasalukuyan, I'm also asking for feedback, no, on the ground dun sa mga individual schools, and mixed reactions din eh. Pero marami pa rin talaga yung affected, lalo na yung mga small schools, no, na alam mo they cater kasi dun sa mga families na alam mo yon dapat nasa public school pero sa kanila pumapasok. So it's really a problem of resources. So ako naman, marami tayong kaibigan din sa DepEd. I know they mean well, but we just also have to present also the other side, no? The side naman ng private schools. Now we also need resources to do this, and we have no problem kung meron tayong pagkukunan. Kung meron sigurong kaukulang suporta from the government, madali naman lahat yan i-comply. But we also wanted sana na faced yung ating compliance, no? It's not really a matter of just moving the deadline. Dapat yan, dahan-dahan may suporta ng gobyerno and making sure na ma-comply lahat, no? Kung gusto nila ganyan kataas yung standard. But sa akin kasi, it's already parang over-regulation eh. Parang for us, parang we are caught between, enrollment and DO13 in a hard place, no? Kasi, like for example, may requirements na ganyan. Saan ba manggagaling yung cost, additional budget to cover all of those? Di ba sa tuition din, no? Pero merong call not to increase, or hindi lang not to increase but to decrease, no? Reduce tuition. So parang saan tayo? Naipit na tayo, hindi na tayo. So it's really a perfect storm, no, for the private schools. But of course we continue to collaborate with our government agencies on education. So siguro naman mariresolve ito. Pero ito ngayon so this is where we are now. Of course, meron sana kaming, we would have wanted it differently. Sana hindi rin gano'n. Sana hindi naman sinabi na non-negotiable minimum. Parang, kasi when you say non-negotiable, kung gano'n ka-strict, no, at it will cost you your permit, no, sa isang private school. Pag hindi mo na-comply, hindi ka pwedeng magpatuloy, no? Yun ang sinasabi ng DO na wala kang authority to operate. Kung gano'n ka-strict, dapat merong suporta, no? At kung gano'n ka-strict, dapat malinaw kung anong gusto nyo. Kasi hindi rin masyadong malinaw Hindi malinaw yung mga requirements doon. Yung nabanggit mo nga, like 24/7 as a help desk, no? Sana mag-hire ka ba ng bagong tao? Hindi pa pwedeng you just ensure the availability. Yung learner management system, meron kasing mga free, na platforms that you can get, but ang require is dapat subscribe
Subscribe.
and locally develop. No, that's really in a short period of time, no, parang in a matter of weeks noona dahil before start. Pero between now and December, hindi ko masabi kung kakayanin talaga ng private. So, bottom line is we need help. It's not that we do not want to comply, but if you want us to at that level, no, to be at that level, we should also get government support.
Attorney, yung bagong department order na yon na requirements for private schools, na okay na po ba yon or i-appeal nyo pa rin ito sa DepEd? Kasi
Well,
basically, humaba lang yung deadline pero sin content pa rin siya
Yeah, kasi alam mo, ang pinakamalaking bureaucracy sa ating government is the DepEd So, ang worry ko dyan, number one, if it is susceptible to different interpretations, especially requirements yan all over the regions, pag kinascade yan, down to the level of the divisions, kung hindi masyadong malinaw yung requirements, magkakaiba-iba ng pag-implement, pero ang bottom line, pare-pareho ang implications sa mga private schools, which is, ipapasara sila kapag hindi nakapag-comply. So, yun ang number one concern. Dapat malinaw naman kasi ang consequence malinaw Hindi ka na makakancel ang permit mo or recognition. Pero yung hinihingi, hindi malinaw. Well, when we talk to our undersecretaries, sa ating, lalong-lalo na sa ating Honorable Secretary of Education, I think at the level nila, maayos naman. Pero we cannot say for all over the regions na it will be uniform. No? Iba-iba rin kasi yung interpretation. So, yun, number one. And then we want to talagang have a review and magkaroon talaga ng consultation on specific requirements before we even talk about the deadline. So, ako naman, kinukuha ko lang din yung reactions sa mga schools. Ako kasi ngayon, down to the level of the schools na ang pinupulsuhan ko. And then, I will respectfully, advocate for it and let the DepEd know about this.
Kasi you have until December naman for that, right? Okay, for my next question, attorney, how about the aid for private school teachers? Kasi I remember parang it was discussed early April pa, May, na parang DepEd was saying na parang they were including the teachers, especially the small private school teachers, for the emergency subsidy programs kasi initially hindi naman talaga sila kasali. Meron na bang update dito kung ano na yung nabigay na financial aid sa mga small private school teachers na naapektuhan ng pandemya?
So ngayon wala pa rin, unfortunately wala pa rin talagang na subsidy. Pero alam mo, may update kasi diyan. Parang I think last month or so, parang nagkaroon ng movement yan, development. Kaya lang ang hinihingi kasi yung mga private schools maglista ng mga affected teachers na hindi na sumasahod, no? Talagang individual list.
Okay.
No, so at ibibigay 'yon. So I think may concern din doon Kasi bakit natin ibibigay yung individual names, no? And their salaries, yung mga ganon details. Bakit may additional, una-una, administrative no? Burden sa dami ba naman ng schools at maglilista, no? Tapos bakit ganon? Nung nagkaroon naman tayo ng wage subsidies para sa lahat ng empleyado, sa lahat ng sectors, hindi naman ganon. Ang nangyari, ang napakasimple ng criteria. Sinabi doon, kapag ikaw ay hindi na tumatanggap ng sahod or bawas yung sahod mo kahit ikaw ay pinapapasok, kasama ka na doon sa criteria ng DOLE camp. Makakatanggap ka na. Bakit ngayon? At hindi nasama ang teachers noon dahil kinulang ang budget. Pero ngayon, kasabihin natin kung budget ang problema, bakit may additional na mga requirements pa? kailangan i-prove talaga na hindi ka. So, I think it's also para bang alam mo hirap na yung mga hirap na yung mga teachers natin. And then parang it's an insult na you have to come forward and reveal your names. Hindi ba pwedeng yan ay siguro within the school na lang. Anyway, magsasubmit din naman ng list yung school no? But syempre redacted na yung mga names or 'di ba? Sana hindi na dumating sa ganung level na maglilista pa tayo, no? Na lahat ng pangalan nila.
It's taking so long na parang you started appealing for help for the government to include those teachers. If I remember it correctly, last April pa and August na ngayon. So, ang dami ng buwan na nagdaan. And may mga pamilya din na binubuhay itong mga teachers natin ito.
Oo, pero alam mo, in fairness naman sa ating mga, lalo na sa mga kongresista natin, tsaka mga sa senador, and of course, DepEd din, si Secretary Briones, whenever this matter is being raised, lahat naman sila supportive Pero alam mo talagang naintindihan ko rin ang difficulty dahil number one, budget ang problema Kasi hindi lang naman education ng affected sector. In fact, ang hinihingi nga lang, 5,000 to 8,000. One time lang, lump sum. So actually maliit lang 'yon na tulong, pero kasi pag pinagsama-sama mo, ilan naman ang affected, 'di ba? Sabihin mo na nasa 300,000 plus, billions pa rin ang aabutin. So yeah, that's where we are in now.
For my next question, it's about the tuition fee kasi pinag-uusapan din talaga siya ng mga magulang, ng mga estudyante, even yung mga college students na sa social media, even sa Twitter, very hot topic ito. Many are asking about the tuition fees, attorney of private schools. They were asking if pwede daw babaan ba ang tuition fee given na classes would be done remotely. So wala na raw facilities na gagamitin, etc., laboratory fee. What is the update on the tuition fees?
Okay, unang-una, wala naman nag-increase na no?
Okay.
Yung like sa Commission on Higher Education, 5% lang ang nagtaas. No? 89 schools out of thousands of higher education institutions. And we're not even talking about yung percentage. Ano ba yung increase ng 89 na yon, no? Na meron pa ring pending application. Sa DepEd, I think ganun din. No? Wala naman, palagay ko, at this time, wala naman siguro magtataas na ng tuition. Wala ka nang enrollment You try to accommodate families and students as much as possible. But I think yung issue ngayon is hindi yung pagtaas, kundi yung pagbaba.
Pagbaba, yeah.
Pagbaba. Ngayon, nagbaba na yung mga schools. Ang average talaga is 20 to 30% na reduction in the fees, total fees ng mga schools. Kaya lang, syempre, maintindihan mo pa rin ng mga pamilya, mga estudyante, even with that reduction, kulang pa rin yun. Lalo na if you get the peso equivalent, hindi pa rin nila kakayanin. They still want more reduction. So, kaya lang, syempre, yung mga schools, dadating na tayo sa level na baka naman kami na ang magsara or magbawas na tayo ng teachers, So, yun talagang dilemma. Kaya nga, kasama dun sa hinihiling namin, yung support, hindi na sa school, government funding support, diretso nyo na sa families, tuition subsidies. Now, you mentioned about yung mga miscellaneous and other fees, Syempre, ang unang reaction dyan, bakit kami sisingilin ng laboratory fee, medical, dental, library, hindi naman gagamitin. Tama rin naman yon sa isang punto. Pero kung titingnan mo, tinanggal na rin naman talaga ng mga private schools yung fee for usage. Halimbawa, let's say, yung utilization cost, halimbawa, aircon fee man yan or kung yung sa paggamit ng facility. I think tama naman, hindi dapat na charge yun Pero ang hindi naintindihan kasi ng karamihan, alam mo yung just maintaining the capital, yung physical facilities mo, like library, yung dental clinic mo, medical clinic mo, may cost yan just to maintain it, upkeep. Not only that, yung budget to procure it, hindi naman yan binayaran in one tuition year. Hindi. Yung karamihan sa schools, segmented yan over a long period of time. Yung baka kala mo yung building nila na pinatayo bayad
tapos
na yan. Inunti-unti yan na talagang naka-plan yan. Tapos remember nag-senior high tayo 2 or 3 school years ago. Ang appeal ng government is for the private schools to build senior high schools, buildings and classrooms kasi hindi lahat kayang accommodate. So talagang gumawa ng paraan. So yan, nakatayo ang facilities for senior high. So all I'm saying is hindi mo pwedeng totally Hindi porke sabi mo hindi
Bawasan,
wala
oo.
ng dental at medical, hindi naman ibig sabihin ibenta na natin yung medical clinic, yung library,
Mm.
gawin nating call center. No, because number one, it is still required by the Department of Education
Education.
for schools to exist. Kung wala na
Mm.
yan, baka mawalan sila ng permit. And sabi ko nga, in addition to that, may bagong costs pa. So it's
Mm.
really very, at saka may gusto lang akong, Boan, sa gustong sabihin,
Apa.
although this, of course, tuition and other fees kasi is a very sensitive issue.
Mm.
Kaya lang sa akin kasi, we're so absorbed to that issue, no, to
Mm.
that topic, na basta pag pinag-usapan ng tuition at no permit, no exam, doon agad tayo eh. Para bang,
Mm.
ang ano natin is, we reduce education to a mere commodity na kailangan lang natin kasi yan at pero hindi yun eh, no? Kasi it is also about quality education,
Mm.
quality of education. It is also about the future of the children, no? Hindi kasi ngayon ang nangyayari is, ang tendency is kung ang focus natin dun sa cost, no, yung gagastusin yung financial, ang nangyayari sa private schools, we are pulled down. No? The quality is constrained to be pulled down to the level of just government requirement. Para
Mm.
bang sinasabi, may sa DepEd nagagawa namin to sa public schools eh. Pwede na yung ganito eh. So dapat kayo din, no? Dapat yung cost, no? Parang unconsciously gano'n na nangyayari. So ang tendency, hindi na nag-i-innovate ang private school, no? Hindi na sila nagiging creative kasi may additional cost 'yon.
Cost,
Doon na
yeah.
lang tayo. Doon na lang tayo sa requirement for government permit, which is very sad, no? Kasi yan
Mm.
dapat ang number one contribution ng private sector sa education. We should be allowed to innovate, to be the trailblazer in terms of quality kasi hindi kami masyadong bound supposedly, no, ng na katulad sa government, no?
Mm.
Hindi lang kami basta contribute to national development. May mga iba-ibang missions yung schools na it also translates to quality. Kaya lang nadadilute 'yon kasi ang usapan laging bumabalik sa tuition, laging bumabalik sa
Mm.
cost, no? Dapat siguro kailangan ng siguro lawakan ng pang-unawa dito.
For my next question, it's about the pagpapatuloy ng klase amid the health crisis. So many students and groups have called for an academic freeze. What is your take on this, sir? And what are the possible implications of this call, of this academic freeze they're calling for?
Well, I think any expert, no, una-una
Mm.
would tell you that it's bad for any country, no, to freeze education. Bad for the country. It's also bad for the families of the students. Both economic and social impact, no, will be suffered by the country and also by the families themselves. Ano yan, meron talagang studies, no, na ginawa na yung mga experts. Siguro sa ngayon, hindi mo agad makikita yan or mararamdaman. Pero down the line, na unang-una ang merong isang study na ginawa, I think it's the ADB,
Mm.
with other experts, yung for every year of delay, in the schooling of children, it is equivalent to 10% of earnings lost ng isang family. Alam mo, malaki yan para sa isang middle income, lalo na sa lower income families. Malaki yan kasi yung pag-asa nila, no, na umangat sa buhay. Imagine 10% of an annual earnings ang dagdag for every year of delay, no? Pero hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan ng education loss, no? Yung education loss, yung development ng bata, according also to experts, pag na-delay ka nito, napakatagal na. Kailan pa sila huling pumasok? March or February?
March, yeah.
Until now. Tapos kung hindi mo sobrang delayed yung opening or is totally scrap mo tong school year, pag bumalik sila, no? Meron yan eh. Malaki yung kanilang education loss in terms of certain competencies on math, English, yung mga binabagsak natin sa PISA, no?
Mm.
Yan doon ang effect noon directly for students development, no, education loss. And of course, sa atin din, sa bansa natin, no, it will delay yung ating needed professionals, no, fresh na ating supposedly professionals. Kasi it will delay further yung mga board exams, magkakaroon tayo ng brain drain kasi mawawalan ng madi-displace ang mga teachers, baka mga faculty, baka magpalit na sila ng kanilang profession or ano. So, it's really not a good situation to be in. No, kaya nga sabi namin, we have to open, no? We have to open. Kung hindi tayo face to face, there are other ways, no?
Mm-mm.
So mabuti naman at at least sa ngayon so far tuloy pa rin naman daw ang opening. So we're happy with that na hindi matutuloy yung ating academic freeze na tinatawag nila.
For my next question, President Rodrigo Duterte signed the law which gives him the power to adjust the school opening beyond August during calamities. What is your opinion on this, attorney?
Well, batas na siya, so we have to follow it. Actually, I participated in the Senate deliberations on this.
Okay.
Kaibigan ko si Senator Win Gatchalian, the principal author of this. Alam mo yung batas na yon, maganda yon eh. Maganda siyang batas, kaya lang kung ma-implement natin ng tama. Kasi hindi naman siya unilateral eh, na ibig sabihin, pag sabi ng presidente, move, no. It requires recommendation of the Department of Education, Secretary of the Department of Education. And not only that, it is only during a state of calamity or during a state of public health emergency. And yun naman pag-declare ng state of calamity, hindi naman yan basta-basta eh. No, meron tayong batas din diyan, no? May proclamation bago i-proclaim ng president yung NDRRMC, no? Dapat meron silang recommendation. Ngayon nasa state of calamity tayo pero up to 6 months lang yan, no, from the time na in-issue. Pero yung isa naman, public health emergency, yung DOH secretary naman na magsabi noon kung merong epidemya, no. Pero so ibig sabihin hindi yun basta-basta pwedeng gawin, no, na i-move. It requires collaboration with all of these people. Ang number one problem ko is magiging independent ba itong mga institutions na to? Maglalakas ba sila ng loob to tell the president? Will our Secretary of Education insist na kung sabihin ng presidente, i-move ko na lang kasi hindi kayo prepared? Will the Secretary of, and I hope so, no, that the DepEd would be independent, no, of what the president would say and say, hindi po, kailangan po tumuloy tayo. Kasi nakalagay sa batas eh, ang magre-recommend is yung Department of Education. Of course, bottom line is masusunod pa rin presidente, but it's good also that we cover all areas. So, andyan na yan. Hopefully, ma-address natin lahat ng gaps and loopholes at tuloy na yung ating school opening.
Attorney, on the issue of limited face-to-face classes, kasi nilagdaan din to ni President Duterte the other day. Ano po yung opinion niyo po dito? What's your take on opening classes limited face-to-face?
Okay. So, unang-una, masaya ako na at least na buksan na yung pag-iisip natin na posibleng magkaroon ng limited face-to-face. Kasi dati, hardline eh. We will not reopen unless may vaccine na, di ba? At alam mo, tayo na lang yata, no, sa at least sa region natin, no, ASEAN region, pero globally, schools are reopening. It's either it is already scheduled or nag-open na sila. Tayo na lang, no, before the announcement of the president, tayo na lang yung talagang indefinite, no, na suspension ng face-to-face. So ngayon nasimula na yung pag-uusap. We're happy with that. Pero it's just a fraction, no, of the issues that we have to resolve. No, kasi dapat yung pag-open, maraming kasama yan, no, na unang-una structural changes. Yung structure ng schools, no, should be of course it should protect the health and safety of the students, no. Maraming dapat gawin doon. Kung yun ngang nagmomotor, di pinag-uusapan yung di ba? Yung nakalagay sa likod ng rider, yung pa kayang eskwelahan na papasok ngayon yung mga estudyante. So, dapat talaga mas standardize yung structural changes. Number 2, operational. No, yung mga by batches ba yung reporting ng students, it should be scientific. We should learn from international examples on how they did it. Yung mga sinasabi na 4-10 rule, no, in Israel, na 4 days na straight papasok ang mga bata, tapos on the 5th day and in 10 days nasa bahay sila. Yung mga ganyan, may mga scientific explanation yan na kasi pag ikaw ay naka-transmit ng virus o ikaw ay naka-contract ng virus, on the 5th day pa lang yun magmamanifest yung symptoms, no? Kaya on the 5th day nasa bahay ka na, no? And then you report in batches. Yan ang mga examples na pwede nating gawin. And sabi naman sa low risk areas muna, pwede siguro na ganoon. Pero alam mo, in other countries, they started with higher age groups, no? Yun din ang natutunan ko sa mga experts na nagbigay sa atin ng study. Nagsimula sila dun sa like college, no? Yung mga graduating, yung mga kailangan talagang lumabas dahil sa OJT nila, may laboratory classes sila. Tapos yung mga bata, hindi muna, no? I think by end of the school year, ang early na pwede silang payagan pumasok. Kasi yung mga bata, alam mo, pag pumasok yun, kasama ang magulang, kasama magsusundo, ang yaya, talagang. And maraming factors. Public transport, paano sila papasok, etc. So, I think it requires a lot of work, no? Kung sa basic education tayo mag-start sa mga low grades. Pero at least pinag-uusapan na. Okay na 'yon.
Okay, for my next question, what are the other challenges private schools are facing with regard to the school opening?
Well, talagang at naka-focus doon sa doon sa sustainability and viability. Pero kung sa pag-usapan natin mga other issues, siyempre may mga sub-issues na like sa curriculum. Siyempre like yung mga dati, like kung ikaw ay meron kang College of Medicine, paano yung NMAT? Kasi hindi naman nakapag-NMAT, requirement yun bago mo i-admit, no? Tapos yung mga entrance exams, ganun din. Tapos yung mga requirements for OJT, yung mga duty sa mga hospitals, yung mga date ng kanilang mga board exams, yan ang mga sunod na mga iniisip, no? Tapos yung mga, of course, yung design ng curriculum, down to the level of ang sunod na mga issues na yung actual, no? Yung actual conduct of the classes, training of the teachers and faculty, upskilling them, no? Yung and also yung sa mga parents, how we can have them also collaborate and cooperate with the school. Yung mga ganyan. Alam mo, ang isang issue, Bonds, may nag-trial sa isang school, habang nagkaklase yung bata, nakikialam yung magulang.
Oh.
Kaya sabihan yung teacher na, teka, mali yan. Ako sabi ko, ito na, nagsisimula nang lumabas yung mga issue kasi ginagawa na natin actual. So, yeah. Pero I think these are all birth pains naman. But we can never really see them until and such time that we do it. No? Kasi kung sasabihin natin, gawin na lang natin pag totally ready tayo, then we will never be able to start.
In terms of siguro yung support din na nakukuha ng private schools po from the Department of Education, how do you think DepEd can help more yung mga private institutions natin, private schools?
Yeah, kasi kung sa level naman ng Department of Education, 'di ba, we're not talking about funding help, no? Except for those that are already there, no, yung mga implementation ng GASPE, no, yung ESC at saka teacher salary subsidy, medyo pabilisin na lang pag-process, ganun. So, they're very helpful naman on that. Pero I think more than at least at the level of the DepEd, ang malaking talagang tulong sana sa private schools sa pwedeng magawa is on policy interventions, no? Yung bang regulation but in the nature of support. Kasi yun naman talaga, when you go back, alam mo, pag binalikan mo yung framers ng constitution natin, talagang sinabi naman doon anong ibig sabihin ng reasonable supervision and regulation. It is in the nature of support, no? Government support kung private schools yan. It's not really control, no? Yun ang sinabi, it's not control. So, malaking bagay, sana kahit ngayon lang panahon na ito, na talagang affected din naman ang mga schools, private schools. Sana maging ang environment less regulatory, more on sport, no? Ibig sabihin, kung meron silang gusto na standard, no? Or readiness standard, dapat yun may tulong. It should be phased, no? The policy should be friendly also, no? Mahirap yung yung sa panahon ngayon, hirap na nga tayo, no, na mag-transition, tapos you're staring at an order or a policy that tells you anytime we will close you. So parang mahirap naman. So I just appeal for their understanding, no? Lalo ngayon lang, palagpasin muna, because I think pag nakabuelo, lalo na ang private schools, pag nakabuelo na yan, no, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Kasi again, this online and distance learning, ginagawa na yan dati pa. Mahirap lang yun, biglaan tayo nag-shift at para sa lahat, di ba? Pero once, for example, you're preparing for limited face-to-face, down the line, may papatupad yon. So more or less, nakikita na natin, we can plan better kasi nare-reduce yung uncertainties. So, konting tulong lang in terms of policy interventions. Malaking bagay po yan.
To wrap up our discussion, attorney, what is your
Mm.
message for the students and parents na hanggang ngayon parang may agam-agam pa sila sa pagbubukas ng klase and sa readiness?
Okay, so ako naman, ang appeal ko sa ating mga magulang at saka mga estudyante, of course, we should always prioritize education. It's really very important. It should be able to continue. Dreams should continue, no, through education of our children. And let us trust our education institutions because they know what they're doing. Lalo na yung mga schools, ang tatagal na ng mga yan. Baka yung pati yung mga magulang doon din sila pumasok sa mga eskwelahan nila. So we more or less know what to do, but we cannot do it also without your support, especially now, no, because a lot of because the students will be spending more time, di ba? So konting ano po, pangunawa at naintindihan din namin kayo, but please continue to have this dialogue and communication with your respective schools. Kasi yung mga lumalabas sa balita, etc., alam mo, mare-resolve lang yung issue ng tuition with you and your school. No? Kasi hindi naman pare-pareho, hindi naman uniform ang charges. Eh. So you would understand sa school niyo bakit may ganon, or mas madali kung makipag-usap kayo. No? But nevertheless, I would say ako rin, I'm also a father. No? I also have school children. And I know ang struggles natin as parents, but education is really important.
Thank you so much, Attorney Estrada. If you just tune in, we've been talking to Attorney Joseph Noel Estrada of COCOPEA. Again, I'm Bons Magsambol, and this has been Rappler Talk.